Coach Nick from Slick Sluggers Boxing. I'm fired up right now because I want to talk to you about sacrifice and how important sacrifice is in reaching our goals, whether it be lifestyle goals, accomplishments, achievements, things you want to do, places you want to go, your lifestyle, your financial goals, whatever it may be. There's sacrifice that you need to do to make sure you get there. There's going to be a plan that you need to follow to say, all right, here's all the things I need to do to make sure I'm achieving my goals. And here's all the things that can get in the way of me achieving my goals, and things that I need to give up, and things that are going to slow me down or make sure that I never get there. So sacrifice is super important. Yeah, there's determination, there's discipline, there's so many other things, but sacrifice to me is one of the most important things to achieving those goals. And the reason why I'm making this video right now is because exactly 1 year ago, right now I'm sitting in my office at Slick Sluggers Boxing. This wasn't my office, this is my bedroom. And for the people that know me well, you already knew that. But for the people that didn't know, I'm just sharing my story with you that, 1 year ago on April 3rd, I moved out of the gym and I moved into my apartment nearby in Mineola. And it's just crazy to think that 1 year ago I was living in a 6x8 room in the gym. And the 6x8 room had a little TV, had a dresser for me to be able to change my clothes, and a bed, and about 2 feet to walk inside the door. And that was pretty much it. I was living small. And the reason why I was living small is because I need to make the sacrifice in order to be where I'm at today. Going way back, talk about sacrifice. I made a lot of sacrifice as an athlete. I dedicated all of my time and extra time that I had into boxing, whether it be physically training, doing my cardio in the morning, my strength training in the afternoon, my boxing training at nighttime, all day, and then whatever time I had available besides any schoolwork that I had to get done was just focused on studying boxing, studying the greats, figuring out their moves, and just putting in so much time because I wanted to be a boxer, and I wanted to be a professional boxer, and I wanted to have a professional boxing career. As you know, it didn't go out the way that I wanted to go. Injuries and this and that. Shit happens. What are you going to do? You don't hang your head about it. You just keep moving on from there. So then I said, okay, now I want to open up a gym. But to open up a gym, you need money. You need opportunity. You need a lot of other things to do. So, all right, I'm 24 years old and still living at home with my parents, living in the basement. I lived with my ex-girlfriend from that long ago. And she, let's get our own place. Let's get our own place. Oh, well, you're not working. I'm supporting us and taking care of everything. Not so easy to get our own place. And I didn't have the money and the funds to do that. But either way, staying at home, I still lived at home in my parents' basement. I'm thankful that my parents supported me, allowed me to live there, but not something I wanted to do, but something I needed to do to say, okay, how much is rent going to be? $1,600, $1,700 a month. Over the course of the year, you do the math, it's around 20 grand a year. So from 24 till 29, lived in my parents' basement pretty much. And 5 years of not having to pay $20,000 a year. You're talking about real fucking money. That's 100 grand right there. That 100 grand of just not spending that money in rent didn't put me in a big hole, and I had some cash laying around. Then I started coaching, and I worked as much as I possibly could. I worked at Rebel Thai Boxing. I worked there during the daytime hours up until 4:30 because that's where they started their kids' classes. And I wasn't allowed to work in the evening, so I could only work daytime hours. I started with a couple days a week. Then I went to 3 days and 4 days, worked my way up to 5 days, packed out my schedule, worked 6 days a week, worked 7 days a week. Real shit, worked 7 days a week. That's all I did. I worked Monday through Friday from 9:30 or 10, depending on the earliest I can get somebody to come in, till 4:30. I worked 7 hours straight, gave up my lunch breaks, took no lunch breaks, worked my ass off over there. Worked Saturdays from 3, because that's when the gym closed, till about 7:30, 8 o'clock at night. And then worked Sunday from 10 to 4, 4:30, 5 o'clock, where again, worked as many hours as I could, stacked up my money, saved up my money, and said, okay, I got a plan. I got to figure out every month I can make X amount of dollars. It's going to cost me X amount of dollars to open up the gym. So I need to do everything I need to do to make sure that I was following the plan in order to have my own space. But again, none of that would have been available and able for me to achieve that without sacrifice. And sacrifice is so important. Again, the not moving out when I'm 24 years old. Nobody wants to be 24 years old living in your parents' basement. But I needed to do it to get to where I'm at now. Nobody wants to work 7 days a week and give up their lunch breaks and work as many hours as possible. But need to do that to get to where I'm at now. I say sacrifice now, success later. And it's so important, because without that sacrifice, without being willing to do the things that are needed to reach your goals, you're not working hard enough for your goals. And honestly, you don't deserve your goals if you're not willing to work for them and give up the things that are leisure and luxury and everything else to say, okay, this is my vision, this is my focus, this is what I need to do in order to get to where I want to get to later. You can't get to the top of the mountain unless you're willing to climb that mountain. And I was fucking climbing like a motherfucker, honestly, because, I knew how important this was for me to be able to get to where I'm at today. So sacrifices is huge for me. And I when I opened up the gym, I had just enough money to open up the gym. And I mean just enough money to buy all the equipment, build the gym out, put down the security deposit, pay for rent, like just enough. Not to mention the whole fucking pandemic, came about and really, really fucked me up for a bit. But I don't want to go down that hole. I want to stay focused on what I'm talking about. But when I opened up the gym, I had just enough money to float the gym with me working all my privates. I only had one coach, Coach Ricky, working with me part-time, and I was just me and Coach Ricky and me teaching all the classes, doing everything I needed to do to make sure the gym was going to be a success. So I didn't have enough, the extra, $1,500, $1,800, $2,000 a month to be able to afford an apartment nearby. So what am I going to do? I moved into the gym. So when I moved into the gym, I went from an apartment in East Meadow that I was at when I moved out when I was 29 to, over here. And I moved in over here when I was 31 years old, and I moved into the gym. I lived in the gym from January of 2020. It was actually before that, because we opened January 2020. So it was actually Thanksgiving of 2020, and I moved out of the gym April 3rd of 2021. So I was in the gym for almost, call it a year and a half. And all the money that I saved, the $1,800, $2,000 a month, over the course of a year, call it $2,000 a month with everything included, that's 24 grand. That 24 grand, not only did I save it, but I needed that money to be able to keep the gym afloat. And then the gym started doing better, started hiring more coaches, started getting busier, started getting more students. So I made that sacrifice so I could be in the gym from morning to night, which is my still schedule right now. I'm here from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m., pretty much every day. Friday I get out early, 9 to 3. Saturday's my one day off, but I always find myself in the gym. And Sunday, I work on Sundays too. Again, we're talking about sacrifice. I did that because then when it was time for me to move out of the gym, I actually met my girlfriend, and we decided, we wanted to get a place and move in together. And then I need to have that kind of money to do that. But that $24,000 I saved for the year and a half leading up to today, I got the money. Let's do it. I made a move. But again, without sacrifice, no success. I wouldn't have been able to make that move. So just reflecting back to, everything that I've done leading up to this point, making all those sacrifices has brought me to where I'm at today. And if I wouldn't make those sacrifices, I wouldn't be sitting at Slick Sluggers Boxing. Right now, again, sitting in my old bedroom. This is my office now. So just looking back on it, it's really cool that 1 year ago I was living in the office. And right now, I have my own apartment nearby. Nothing fancy, nothing crazy, but enough to have a roof over my head and be nearby to work so I can be here all the time. Talk about sacrifice. I'm here from morning till night. I don't want to be here from 9 o'clock in the morning to 9 o'clock at night. I don't want to work Sundays. There's things that I want to go hang out and do beach days. I want to do summer stuff and all those other things. And every once in a while, now that things are more stable and we're doing well, I'm able to make those kind of decisions. But for a while, I wasn't able to do that. And there's things that I wanted to do that I had to miss out on. And there's still things that I want to do now that I have to say, no, I have my commitments, I have my responsibilities to my gym members and to my gym and to my coaches and to myself to say, I have a plan for myself and I need to make sure I'm following my plans. So sacrifice now, success later is something that people need to really understand that message. Because again, you want something, and something that's big and something that's a vision or a goal, you have to say, okay, what do I need to do and what do I need to give up to make sure I get there? Because that's how you become successful in anything in life. So I just wanted to share a little bit of that story with you. And, hopefully, you have a goal and it's something you want to achieve. Write it all down, plan it all out, figure out your actions that you need to take to get there, and figure out things that are going to slow you down or to make sure that you don't get there, and say, all right, keep your discipline, stay focused, and work super hard at it until you get there. So I just wanted to share that message with everybody that's watching this video. And I'm very happy I made those sacrifices. At the time, it's hard, it sucks. That short-term pleasure and that short-term happiness of like, oh, this is what I want to do, and then you miss out on what's going on later. Monday nights, everyone knows the deal. You know what I do Monday night. I'm driving around from 12 o'clock till 3 o'clock in the morning, putting my signs up. I want to be in my bed sleeping at home with my girlfriend, warm in my bed. I'm not. I'm out there hustling. On Saturday, on my day off, I want to go do stuff. And a lot of times that I do, but a lot of times, hey, I'm coming into the gym. Let me make sure everything is good. Working with a new coach right now. I gave up my work day. I could have worked 4 hours today, gave up my work day. Tomorrow, I'm giving up 5 hours of my work day to train my new coach that I'm training right now. Giving up a lot of money. I'm giving up almost $1,000 to do something like that. But sacrificing now for success later to say, let me put my time in with my coach. Let me make sure he knows the program. Let me make sure he's successful. So later on, we can be more successful together. I'm building his success and mine together at the same time. But again, I don't want to miss out on the $1,000 of training. I don't want to miss out on work. I don't want to sit in the gym for 5 hours extra and say, let me train this new guy. But if you don't want to do it, you don't get what you get later. So put the work in, make sure you sacrifice and realize how important it is to make sure that you get to where you want to get to later. And if you don't, then I don't want to hear any bitching. I don't want to hear any crying, no excuses. It's all on you. That's it. It's all on you. Sacrifice, baby. Shit is super important.